If you're entering date and time information into an Excel worksheet, it's probably best with times to use the slash or possibly the hyphen. They both work the same way. And depending upon your settings, you're likely to get an entry like this, for example. If it's March 4th, 3/4/2012, simply put in the 12. When you press enter, you're likely to see a 4-digit year. And most people will see a 4-digit year. That's the default setting in Excel. Now, on a worksheet by worksheet basis, you can change that. You can change it within a range even. If you want the standard to be 2-digit year, you'll probably want to do this outside of Excel. And that means going out into the control panel. And depending upon your operating system, this might look a little different. But once you get there, check out the regional settings. And under region and language, check the date and time. Not under date and time here, but region and language. Change the date and time or number format. Most people will not need to do this or want to do this, but if the standard date entry for you works better, if you prefer entries most of the time to have a 2-digit year, then change the short date entry here. Choose it yourself. This is outside of Excel within your operating system, possibly Windows 7 or XP or another one. So hyphens work the same way, and you could even mix them, or I doubt most people would do that. March 6th, 2011, type it that way. You're still going to be seeing slashes in the display, and for most people, that's not a big issue. It's a good idea when you are putting in dates to make the column wider. I'll make this narrower. If you do this, the improper dates, presumably the typos that you might make, will not jump out at you quite so obviously. If, for example, if you were to type in, and you might even type in a 4-digit year, you don't see anything unusual going on there, but if the column had been wider, you certainly would. That's an impossible date, so that'll jump out at you pretty quickly. When it comes to entering times, use the colon. A couple variations on this, and some people are familiar with, and they use frequently, 24-hour type entries. That's fine. If it's 4:30 p.m., you might type 4:30 space P is good enough. You can type PM, but P is good enough. You'll see an entry like this. You certainly could have typed 16:30. Different variations on how you might want to enter times into a cell. Both entries are correct. You probably would, if you had these cells next to each other, format them in a similar way simply by highlighting them and then right-clicking, going into format cells and applying formats as needed. So standard date entry uses slashes or hyphens. Standard time entries use colons.